Hi, my name is Shaun LeFlore, and I'm the author of a book about saying no to the world and yes to yourself. This book explores the intersection between reentry and recidivism and how they impact one another. Reentry is a term used for people who are returning back to society after incarceration. And recidivism is a term used for people who actually return back to prison after they are released from prison. I decided to write this book for two reasons. One, from my personal experience, I am formerly incarcerated and I know how it feels to navigate society after a long time away from society. Maybe even more importantly for me is number two, professionally. I have been blessed to work in the nonprofit sector of reentry. Right now, I'm a community organizer for a national nonprofit called All of Us or None. And in my work, I deal with so many people who struggle with finding that balance of success and happiness and fulfillment while learning the world anew. And for so many people, it's been a problem, it's been an issue. And even as the national statistics show that people are going back to prison at an alarming rate. So I felt it was necessary that we talk about that and explore alternative ways to be successful in life. My perspective is very unique because in the world of reentry, society pushes the narrative of assimilation to the status quo. You know, be normal, come home, and life will work A, B, and C. But unfortunately, that isn't the universal truth for many people who are returning home from prison, are usually for people who are facing adversity. So instead of assimilating it to the status quo, we have to figure out what's our path, what's our narrative, and how are we gonna live our world to be our best self, our most productive self, and our most fulfilled self. If the status quo doesn't fit you, it's no need to try to make it fit. Some things don't fit, and that's okay, and you can still live a good life and be successful if you learn how to say no. This book will include many stories about people who are system impacted as well as directly impacted, and how they have either been unsuccessful or successful in navigating the world and recreating themselves anew in a positive light. The coolest story I share in this book, and unfortunately, I wouldn't call it cool, but I would call it poignant, is my own personal story about how I was already incarcerated on another offense, and then I was falsely accused of murder, and going through that process, navigating that process, the traumas of being falsely accused, but also my own personal accountability for how I was living my life and how I processed the world and how I made it through my own personal problems and trauma in a way that I think can also help others look at their life anew and just see the world from an alternative perspective and from an empowered perspective, and learning how to overcome whatever is in our way. My hope for this book is that it will motivate others to think differently and see the world differently, and to maybe even expand your view on people, the world, and experiences, and why people do what they do and how they navigate the world. You will enjoy this book if you are a big thinker, if you love people, if you love learning about people, and if you love looking at the world from a different perspective. My name is Shaun LeFlore, and I'm the author of The Power of No.